is hoarding common and exactly how does it affect nearby neighbors? Earlier, we spoke to Kati Morton, a licensed therapist, about the emotional toll hoarders create for everyone around them. Is this common in a cycle like this?
It is common. I'm surprised it happens so quickly because usually the not curation, but the collection of items takes time. Like I'm sure the neighbors have seen this grow over the years, but I was concerned when I saw them just picking up huge chunks of the things and putting them, in dump trucks to be taken away. I was worried about the person who had been hoarding for that long because there's a lot of emotional attachment to each and every one of those possessions. Even though to you and I it might look like garbage, to them, there are so many meanings attached to like every bottle cap and every newspaper and every item. And I think the quickness with which they got rid of things could have been traumatizing and overwhelming. And I'm not surprised we had like this reversal response so quickly.
What is hoarding for people that may not understand it? Because it is classified as a disorder.
Yeah, hoarding disorder, there are three main characteristics. The first is that the people with hoarding disorder really struggle to get rid of items. And I know these are very obvious things, but it's just important so we all are on the same page. So they struggle to get rid of things. They spend a lot of time collecting. So where you and I might go out to lunch and just have a good time, go home, not even think of the gum wrapper that maybe we tossed into a garbage can or put into our purse. They would keep things, maybe the wrapper that was around the silverware, they'll keep all sorts of things like that in their day-to-day life all the time. They struggle to throw away most things. And then the third, and the thing that we're seeing, we're seeing all these play out at this home in Granada Hills, but is this difficulty with organization. So someone with hoarding disorder can feel very dysregulated, and the items that they're hoarding aren't in the space that they would need them. Like, let's say I had a wrench, you might find the wrench in their kitchen where we would normally find silverware, and silverware maybe in the bathroom. Their items can be very disorganized and out of control, but having those items around them makes them feel very safe and very comforted. And so I think that, for those of us on the outside looking in, we can see chaos and mess, but for them, it's like soothing. It feels good.
So we're seeing legal action from the city. We obviously saw the city come in and try to get rid of that stuff and now it has returned. You said you weren't surprised that it had returned. What can be done in these situations to make sure that the cycle is broken?
A lot of it has to do with, I know they said they had a psychologist, I believe, on site, but I think a lot of it, we need more time. And I know people are like, this is an eyesore, this is a danger, right? We have fire danger, health, wellness, safety. There could be cockroaches, rats. So we know it could be very dangerous, but it takes time for them to let go of things. I think of hoarding disorder as kind of like a coping skill for something else going on. And what I mean by that is, we think of drugs and alcohol as someone coping with maybe some underlying trauma, depression, anxiety. They link hoarding disorder very closely to obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD. And so I believe that if they worked with the person who's doing this hoarding to kind of figure out why this exists, what I call like the root of the mental illness, then we can slowly start getting rid of things little by little. And it's more working with them instead of doing something to them. And I know people had the best intentions. I think that's just, it could have been more traumatizing, and we've added like another layer maybe onto this need to cope.
You talked about some of the complaints that neighbors have told us, things like it not only being an eyesore, but also a health hazard just because of the rodents, the roaches, what may be festering in some of that stuff. What options do you believe that neighbors may have in situations like this?
It's really key. That's a difficult thing. Health and safety of those around us and the person who's actually suffering. And I would have hoped that we could have gotten help sooner. I know they were resistant. I've heard that family tried to get involved and people tried to do things. I feel like there maybe needed to be potentially a more concerted effort, or maybe the city could put the person who is struggling with hoarding in an inpatient facility to actually start working on something that speeds up the healing process, because we don't have to engage in our regular life, right? I feel like the neighbors could have just supported actions like that, or the city maybe needs to have certain protocol they go by. It's really tricky. I understand the difficulty and the struggle, but because of the safety and health concerns, we have to have some protocols in place to deal with things like this. And I feel like with, our healthcare system and the mental health help we have in LA, they should have something in place, some kind of facility we can send someone to so they can get the support to then return and slowly start getting rid of the items.